Okay, hey guys. I this is like a tutorial on how to get your router or slash modem to say open, like for the NAT type to be open on various Xbox or PS3 games. They say NAT type is strict. This is how to make them open. Very, very simple. Um, I was watching a couple of tutorials and I keep on hear people saying, paste this in here and do this and get that. It's like, what the are you talking about? Anyway, um, so it's pretty much like it starts off the same. Like you got to go into your CMD. So just open your start menu bar and go CMD. Okay, and then it should come up with the CMD prompt. Type in IP config, and then you should get a list. Mine's actually pretty small for normal lists I've seen on various computers, but mine, and under it should say if you're wired, then it will say wired, but Ethernet adapter local area connection, that's what you'll be under. But if you're wireless, and you should be wireless because it makes it much more easy, you should it should say wireless LAN adapter wireless network connection, and not number 2 if you have a number 2. And then now, when I was going on and look at these things, my IP address is IP for V4 address, so that didn't really work when you typed it into the address bar. So I went to this guy and it was a bit confusing the way he did it, but he told me to get the default gateway. Okay, so you look at your default gateway, and then when you got your default gateway, you go onto the internet. Okay, and up in the you type in your default gateway. Okay, and then once you type it in, you go there, and it will load. It will load because it's the gateway to your actual thing. Now, I know everybody's is different here. Everyone's is different, and that's why it's gonna be difficult. Because I'm just doing it because I couldn't find anybody with a Thompson modem. Most people had routers or Netgear and all that. I'm not saying Netgear's bad. I'm just saying I couldn't find one with a Thompson. And Thompson's website is the big one. Thompson's website is very, very different to any others, and mine is already logged on, so it would normally ask you to log on. When you got that, it's pretty simple from now on. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go onto your Xbox now, or PS3, I can tell you both, and you want to go to, on the Xbox, you must go to system settings, then network settings, and click on your wireless or wired network, and then it should tell you in a box clearly, non-highlighted or highlighted, because there's more than 2 boxes there. It should say IP address. Okay, and then it should say pretty round, very close to your default gateway or IPv4 address for me, or IP address for you if you don't have an IPv4. And except the last 2 numbers slash 3 numbers on the back of the IP address should be different, and that's how you find it on the website. On the PS3, you go scroll all the way across on your XMB next to in the settings bar. Scroll nearly all the way down to the bottom. I think it's the second bottom option saying system information, and then it will tell you in there. Okay, and once you got that, you probably need to write it down unless it's right next. Your screen is right next to your computer screen, and then you go down, and then so after that, it should say home network. Okay, on the back on your computer, it should say home network, and then you want to. Now this is pretty difficult for me because I got all these home networks connected to my modem right now. So you want to go across. I've already renamed mine, but I'll get to that later. You want to go across to all these unknowns with these codes behind them. Okay, Now it may take a tiny bit of time, but you need to click on each one until this inside the IP address meets the IP address of your Xbox or PS3, and PS3 will be unknown as well. Okay, so once you found that, you click on it and see my IP address is there. I'm not going to show you it, but that's my IP address, and that's my Xbox's IP address, I should say. Okay, and then what you would do is up here in the corner, you'd press configure. Okay, when you press that, it should allow you to edit the name, edit what type it is. Down here, you need to click always use the same IP address. Tick that, and then don't press apply yet. You got to come down to connection sharing, and you want to click this drop down arrow and go all the way down to, mine's not here because I've already done it up here, all the way down to Xbox Live, which will be there, or PSN, I think, PlayStation Network. Yeah, I don't know where PSN is, if it even has a PlayStation Network, but if you're on PlayStation 3 on the Thompson, you shouldn't need to worry about that as much down here as if you're on a paid service, because if you're on a paid service, that means they keep track of everyone using the service. If you're on a non-paid service, they're just like, what the fuck, let them play. So now you're on a paid service, so you want to, you know, don't need to do that for the PlayStation 3. Okay, so once you've done that, click apply up here. Add. Sorry, you need you need to click add here, and then once that's done, when you see the Xbox Live is added, then you need to click apply back up there, and it should save all your settings. You must have always used the same IP address ticked in the box, and then once that's done, just restart your Xbox, or test the Xbox Live settings again, and then you should be open. I mean, that worked perfectly for me, 100%. Yeah, that was really simple. Mainly, I've probably made it a little non-simple, but I don't care. Yeah, that's it for this tutorial. If you have any further questions, just comment down below, and I'll message you like pretty much straight away, or whenever I'm next on, which is pretty much every day, at least 3 times a day. I don't know. So I'll get back to you really soon. So that's fine. Be great if you rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you. I am out. It's simple. We eat bonaynars.